Good evening, and welcome to Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption in Sports from your regular daily schedule. I'm your host, Cresta Reynolds, and I am once again joined by the esteemed duo of Ryan Haletta and Nadiri Morgan-Thompson. Let's get right into topic one. For the second time in 2 weeks, a Western Conference playoff team has fired their head coach. Mike Malone is out as Nuggets head coach. Ryan, talk to me about this move and the Nuggets playoff chances now.
Yeah, we saw this move a couple weeks ago already, and we see it again. This time the GM goes as well. Interim head coach David Adelman is 3-0, however. They're going into the playoffs with a little bit of they're riding a little high, and I think with a week left of the regular season, there's no reason to fire your coach. I think Jokic was definitely notified of this decision to fire Malone and Calvin Booth, but he didn't really ask the organization to fire them, apparently. I don't know how much I believe of that because he is the face of the franchise. You got to go through him at some point, be like, hey, do you want this or not? And apparently, the reason for the firing, Booth and Malone have been behind each other's backs, going at each other for weeks, maybe even years, leading to a lack of trust. The organization thought it was best to move on, and we'll see how far they go in the playoffs at the 4 seed versus the Clippers in round 1.
I definitely was team fire Calvin Booth, right? You're building a team that try to win a championship, and you're not putting championship pieces around them. They let Bruce Brown walk, they let KCP walk, and this year they have not been able to sufficiently replace them. And it showed up, right? Christian Braun, he's been phenomenal, but their bench is not really where it needs to be. The Mike Malone firing is very confusing. I understand firing your coach, right? Your GM, because the draft season is coming up. You want to have your draft boards, who you're scouting, certified right now, but the coach is very confusing. I do think the Nuggets are going to lose to the Clippers in the first round, and as much as they've been on a run with the new coach, I don't see it lasting for the playoffs.
Yeah, I had in my notes that I think we will see Mike Malone on the sideline for Phoenix, and that was before Coach Bud got fired, and I think that's looking more like a possibility.
Yeah.
I think KD will probably get moved even if they hire Mike Malone, but I think like the Grizzlies, this team is giving up about 117.5 points per game. When you have guys like Jokic, Murray, Gordon, and MPJ, you should be pretty decent defensively, and I just think having that was kind of the catalyst as well.
Well, how much of that goes to the players, though? Right? It's
It
not
always falls
always
on
on the coach. That's all I'm saying.
Unfortunately, it does always fall on there.
Yeah.
It'll sure be interesting to see the ripples in Denver. The 2025 Masters occurred this weekend, and with lots of drama on the final day, Rory McIlroy came out on top, getting the career Grand Slam. Nadiri, your thoughts on the Golf Classic?
Roy, he was giving me some anxiety. He almost sold it there.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He took it to OT. I didn't even know golf could go to OT. That was crazy. But I'm happy for him, got the Grand Slam. I definitely was sweating, but he looked pretty nice in his Masters jacket. I like the green.
He looked clean.
The green with the yellow. I like it a lot. I think, maybe I should get into golf.
Yeah.
Let's go golfing. I don't know. I think I got it. Because golf, on a more real note, golf needs a new face, right? When Tiger went away, it was pretty clear that there's no real figurehead behind golf. And Rory McIlroy, though he got some good press, I don't know if he's that. So Nadiri Morgan-Thompson, I'm the next face of golf.
Yeah, you could just see the pure joy, excitement, and just the hard work that paid off. Escape Rory after he sunk his putt, like you said, in the sudden death round against Justin Rose. And like we mentioned before, he got the Grand Slam, meaning he won the Masters, U.S. Open, PGA Championship, and the Open Championship, or the British Open. And he just started hugging everyone, bursting into tears. It was awesome to see it end that way after 4 days of competition. And then a note here is the U.S. took 14 of the top 23 spots. So it just shows the pure dominance that the U.S. has between the PGA and I think the LIV, right, is what it is? Yeah. So between those two leagues, but then also there's some good international golfers too. So.
Yeah, I think for me, before this, Roy's best finish before this was in 2022 when he got second. He did not make the cut last year in 2021. Finally, locked in and played very well. I feel bad for Justin Rose, though.
Yeah.
This is the second time he's lost the Masters on a playoff putt. In 2017, which was the last Masters playoff, he lost to Sergio Garcia. And losing 2 Masters on a playoff, especially with just how good Justin Rose was playing, he played lights out that final day, put up a -6. He was in 6th, and just to come back and win was pretty impressive.
13's the charm. You just got to do it one more time.
Yeah, there you go.
Next up, we will discuss the possible return of Damian Lillard. Stay tuned.
Passion's love. Passion is love for what you do. Because I think when you face challenges, it comes down to how much you want it and how much you love it. Passion is what keeps you going forward. Seeing so many people that were like-minded and so hardworking in their sport and academics, being surrounded by like-minded people makes you want to be more passionate. I think it pushes you to a different level that maybe you didn't think you had. And you can do the best of both worlds and love all of it.
It's always been there, his love of the outdoors. Some days, you wonder if it might be his calling. Truth is, you know that the things he's passionate about today will build the foundation of what he does tomorrow, and possibly inspire a new journey. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
Matt checking in to see how Sam is doing on his project, and it's getting close to exporting now, the final step in the process. And it is complete, and Sam is hyped. Finally gets complete and spikes the ball into the end zone. Sam's celebrating with his colleagues, and they throw a flag on the play. The ref's gonna call excessive celebration. Sam is in disbelief and can't believe it. He tries to dispute the call, but the ref is not having any of it.
Welcome back to PEOMIOSFYRDS. After missing the final 14 games of the blood clot, it is being reported that Damian Lillard is progressing positively and has a good chance to be back for round 1 of the playoffs. Ryan, how important is this for the Bucks?
I mean, obviously, you're going to get your starting point guard back. It'll be better to see him over Ryan Rollins at your one, which, I think KPJ should be the one right there. But, that's a fight for another day there with Doc Rivers. I mean, like you said, Dame hasn't played since March 18th against the Warriors, where he dropped 16, 3 boards, 4 assists, a block, and a steal. When the playoffs start and the Bucks take the court next, hopefully we see him out there, but like you said earlier, not probably till like game 3 or 4. But just to see that Dame and Giannis in the playoffs, for once actually, is going to be awesome to see. Roll out of 5 of Dame, Gary Trent Jr., Kuzma, Giannis, Brook Lopez. Then you have KPJ as your 6th man, Bobby Portis, AJ Green, Taurean Prince. I'm going to include Ryan Rollins, Andre Jackson Jr. as well, but
hopefully Jericho Sims as well.
And Jericho Sims, yeah. We need someone to go. We need someone to go besides Brook Lopez.
I don't know. Pete Nance might have just solidified himself.
Okay, that was one game.
All right, chill out.
All right. But I think this is such a veteran-heavy team that they have the opportunity that maybe this is their final year for a title.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, right, Giannis has been on a tear, right? They saying Giannis looking like 2018.
He's
Bron,
so good.
He averaging 31, 11, and 9 when Dame's going with a block and a steal. It's kind of crazy. I will say this, right? No Dame or not, I'm not picking against this Giannis, right? If Giannis stays playing like this and the role players keep playing their role and they're healthy, we're going to beat the Pacers. And I will say this, Dame coming back is very good, but it really depends on what form Damian Lillard is in. If we get half a Dame and he's not hitting the shots, I ain't going to lie, brother, stay home. You need to, be on the blood thinners, whatever you need, because we need for our team to be healthy. We need for our team to be hidden. And if Giannis is playing at this caliber, we don't need for any of our stars to be hurting us. We already have Kyle Kuzma, who he's very inconsistent. Brook Lopez, he's not going to grab any rebounds. We have Taurean. We already have flaws. Bobby Portis isn't going to play any defense, right? We need Giannis to be at his best. And if Dame is going to contribute, we love it. If not, you know what I mean? I think we have a good chance to get the patient no matter what.
It'll be exciting to see Giannis and Dame in the playoffs together for once. UFC 314 to happen this weekend with many great moments. You're going to reflect on them and turn to WrestleMania in Las Vegas. And Adiri, tell me about Mania this year and your favorite moment from UFC 314.
I mean, WrestleMania this year, I'm going to be honest, it might be a banger. It might be something you can just sleep through. It really depends, We have Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, the biggest face of all time versus the biggest face currently, but the build has been terrible. They have John Cena, our childhood hero, go be a bad guy for the first time, and it sucks, I'm not gonna lie. We have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair, another like generation versus generation, but promo's been kind of bugged. The only time that they were good is when they went off script, and Tiffany Stratton talked about how Charlotte Flair got divorced like 3-4 times. It's kind of a low blow. There's no Street Profits on the card, but the New Day is there. It's like, it's 2025, bro. I rock with the New Day, but their feud doesn't really, you know what I mean? It doesn't deserve to be on the card. The booking has been suspect, and it's an underwhelming card. I mean, we have main event Jey Uso going against Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Nobody wants to see Jey Uso with the World Heavyweight title. Let's just be real. And it just doesn't feel like it's WrestleMania season due to the suspect booking, but I'm gonna trust and hope that they cook on the night of the card. UFC 314, speaking of that, they're both owned by TKO, so shout out UFC WB. Patty, you know, my dog with the bowl cut, he got that win by KO in the 3rd round. He was going crazy. And Volk, he got the win by decision. He's a new champ. I don't really like when championships change by decision. Like, if you want to win your championship, knock him out. But, hey, a win is a win.
I like seeing UFC fights end in knockouts. I mean, there's like, I don't like to see him go all the way. Like, you're fighting for a reason, just knock him out.
Exactly.
And like for WrestleMania, I feel like you said, it's gonna be a little like probably underwhelming. I think a lot of these guys and gals like we've seen. These are some names that I recognize from when I watched it back in like 2017 or 2018. Like they're kind of getting out of their range. We have a triple threat of CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. That'll be fun to watch. I love Roman Reigns. I've always loved Roman Reigns. And I think he gets that one done.
Are you gonna acknowledge your tribal chief? It's important, bro.
I would also say that I think John Cena gets it done. And then we also see Rey Mysterio as well. Logan Paul is on the card, so.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that all these like big celebrities are kind of getting into WWE too. Like we see so many people backstage, so it'll definitely be interesting to see, especially because Nadiri was talking about the bad booking decisions. Coming up after the break, we will discuss the Eastern Conference playoffs in the NBA. Stay tuned.
Have you heard of UROC?
We're part of Whitewater and our own thing.
Come on, we'll show you.
I learned how to be a college student here, and now I'm headed off to Madison to study global health, and I know I'm ready.
People like me who aren't a fan of big crowds would really like UROC because it's welcoming and it's laid back.
My advisor helped me figure out my schedule, organize my time, fill out my FAFSA, and figure out what classes I liked and how to turn that into a major. And if I had to do it again, I would choose UROC.
You ready to rock?
You belong here.
Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. We're here to compete, to inspire, to grow, and to make history. We are rooted in tradition. For over a century, we have contended as the premier conference within Division III.
I shot the ball!
We are united throughout Wisconsin. All 8 of our full-time member institutions are based in our great state. But although Wisconsin is our home, our impact reverberates across the entire nation, crowning 180 national team championships and counting. Our mission is to shape student athletes who excel academically and athletically, equipped to become leaders in life. We are here to build on our enduring legacy and move boldly forward into the future. We are the WIAC, Excellence in Action.
I'm Bleran Krajčevce, and you're watching The Insider on UWW-TV. Despite only playing for one season, UW-Whitewater men's soccer player Luca Breslin has made an impact on the 2024 Warhawk team. The freshman from Dublin, Ireland, proved to be one of the squad's key players, starring in 20 matches for the 2024 season with 3 goals and 3 assists to his name. the Irishman's flexibility came to play both as a midfielder and in his normal position as a striker. Breslin showed great moments for this squad and scored the Warhawks' lone goal in the 40th minutes of the 13th annual Duhawk Cup game as the Warhawks drew to Loras College 1-1 back on October 1st, where they won the Duhawk Cup thanks to trophy retention. Men's soccer head coach Tony Gwynn sees Breslin as a very hard worker with high soccer IQ and a, quote, really solid soccer player who's very technical. All of this has helped Breslin make this Warhawk team a stronger side in the WIAC, which helped the Warhawks reach the semifinals of the 2024 WIAC Men's Soccer Tournament before losing 4-0 to UW Eau Claire. Despite the loss last season, both Breslin and Coach Gwynn are optimistic that they can win next season's WIAC tournament and qualify for the NCAA Division III tournament. This has been The Insider on UWW-TV. I'm Bleran Krajčevci.
She's always had it. Pure ambition. An unbridled self-confidence that most people only dream of. You see it driving her, empowering her, and in time, you see it fueling her future, perhaps even helping her blaze a new trail. All she needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the Universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
Proportion to me is the lived experience of our Division III student athletes. They balance life from an academic perspective and the rigors of competing at a high level, bonding with teammates and building lifelong friendships. But they also are involved in their communities. They work jobs and internships and volunteer. They've learned to be resilient. Diverse experiences are setting them up for the future.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Welcome back to the show. The Eastern Conference matchups are set in the NBA playoffs, with many rivalries being renewed and some new teams in the mix. Ryan, what are your thoughts on the East this year?
Yeah, I think it'll be a very top-heavy Eastern Conference this year. I see the Cavs facing the Hawks in the first round. I think they win that play-in over there. Or sorry, lose that play-in, get the 8 seed.
Yeah.
I have the Magic winning that, being the 7 seed. So the Celtics over the Magic there. Knicks over Pistons, Bucks over Pacers. And the Cavs, unfortunately, end the Bucks' run this year. Celtics over the Knicks. I don't see the Knicks going far at all. And I have the Cavs over the Knicks. Or over the Celtics, sorry. So that's how I see my East shaping out, 1v2. I just like the Cavs and their starting five. It gets me. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, DeAndre Hunter, Darius Garland. That five is just too good.
You know, I mean, I definitely agree. I have Bucks over Pacers. Only way I can see the Pacers winning is if Dame comes back and the Pacers start attacking them. I got the Knicks over the Pistons. The Pistons don't really have anybody to keep up with the Knicks. Like, let's just be real. Cade is the only one who can score. I actually have the Hawks beating the Magic, but the play-in doesn't matter. They both gonna lose.
Yeah.
From there, I have the Celtics beating the Knicks and the Cavs beating the Bucks. But I actually have the Celtics over this Cavs. See, with the Cavs, it's hard to bet on them because we know Donovan Mitchell is going to be good. That's about it. Darius Garland is a known playoff dropper. Evan Mobley was not very good in the playoffs last year. Jared Allen is Jared Allen. DeAndre Hunter is DeAndre Hunter, right?
They're playing at a different level this year, though.
They are, but it's the playoffs. The playoffs, things change every year. I'm not one to buy regular season over playoffs. If they see it, I see it.
That's fair.
But the Celtics, they've done it before, right? Jason Tatum, he's kind of inconsistent, but he's shown he could turn it up in the right times. Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday's clutch, Derek White's clutch. If Kristaps Porzingis, especially if he stays healthy, if Porzingis gets hurt, I can see the Cavs maybe giving the Celtics more of a run for their money, but I do think I have Celtics in a 6 or 7 year.
Yeah, I think for me, I have everything the same except I have the Knicks in the conference finals.
Really?
I just think this is kind of the time where they start beating teams with good records. but I think the Cavs win the East pretty easily there.
He's just trying to be different.
The Eastern Conference will sure be something to watch. The NFL announced that they would demote 3 refs due to poor performance and could be promoted if the performance improves. Nadiri, is it shocking that the NFL is finally taking responsibility?
I definitely think it's shocking, but like overall, I don't really know how much good it does, right? If a ref makes a bad call, it maybe decides a game, but at the end of the day, now it's just new people to blame. No matter what the game is, people blame the referees. And we have to get to a point where it's like, hey, bro, like, what if your team just played better and won the game? What if it wasn't in the ref's hands? You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing that we have to, really wonder. Like, I do wonder if there are going to be real changes or if we're not even going to notice the new refs. And I really doubt that we'll notice them, right? I think that a lot of the biggest things, right, like, the only thing that a ref really controlled was when Josh Allen didn't get that extra yard. That was probably one of the biggest things that a ref did all year, but in the playoffs, I can't really think of major referee involvement. So unless we get robot refs or like some new soccer technology brought to football, I don't really see how new ref changes is going to change things drastically.
Yeah, I think for every sport, you need to keep a human aspect as a referee. The game is not supposed to be perfect. You're supposed to let the two sides decide it, and then if you need that's when you need a third point of view on it. I think every single league has the technology advancements to make correct calls, be able to overturn calls. You're seeing with baseball with the ABS system now implementing that. I think the NFL demoting them to college is good. We have yet to see someone go down and then come back up. It's hard. Because I think we don't see a changeover. Like you said, you're not going to really notice a big changeover. But I think it's good from a fan perspective to see the NFL holding these officials accountable. Because you have to keep a human aspect for referees.
Yeah, I think that these 3 refs were just unfortunately the specific people that got the example made out of them. I think that this might be a one-time thing. I don't see them continuing to do this. I think it sends the wrong message. I think maybe just giving them warnings rather than just firing them, because that just sends the wrong kind of message to me in my eyes, but I guess we'll see. When we come back, we'll present our final thoughts for this week's episode. Stay tuned.
We'd love to show you what it's like to be a warhawk.
Come on!
Don't miss out on your chance to be a warhawk.
At UW Whitewater.
You belong here!
You can see it. His potential, that is. You see it even when he may not. You see that the things that spark his interest today will in time ignite the things he pursues tomorrow. And ultimately, help him reach new heights. All he needs now is a way to make it happen. We are the universities of Wisconsin. 13 universities, unlimited opportunity.
UWW-TV has been an important part of the campus and community since 1980.
Not only providing on-air learning opportunities for broadcast journalists and electronic media production students,
but educating and entertaining our audiences with award-winning news, live sports coverage, original programming,
as well as dedicating the mission to developing creative collaborations throughout campus.
For more information, visit our website and like us on Facebook.
Check us out because you gotta see what's on UWW-TV.
Sports fans, we pack stadiums, arenas, and local gyms every day. And every sports fan is uniquely human. Seeing each play with your own eyes, triggering your own emotions. And as humans, we won't agree on every call, but we can act with empathy and consideration. So put yourself in the official shoes. Be more than a fan. Be officially human.
Welcome back to PEOMIOSFYRDS. Let's give our final thoughts for this week. Ryan, what stood out from the news this week?
Yeah, I mean, as we're recording this right now, the WNBA draft is going on. We saw Paige Beckers go #1 to the Wings. She's going to pair great with Arike Ogunbowale. Haley Van Lith got drafted to the Chicago Sky. So we're seeing some really good college basketball players take that next step to the WNBA level. I'm really excited where the Wings are going to go this year. I'm going to love to see Ogunbowale and Beckers be on the same team on the court.
And I mean, to me, you got to talk about the girl Wemby, right? Dominique Malonga, she went to the Seattle Storm. I mean, she's going to be a demon, bro. She dunking. And I don't really got no other body that's dunking. She doing spin move into the dunk with ease. Like, she's wild, bro. Paige Bucher's going to do wild with Arike Agumbawale. And Haley Van Leeth is going to do nice with Angel Reese, you know. Haley Van Leeth, she's going to go for the shot. Brick. Angel Reese get the rebound. Brick. And then somebody will eventually take it from him or make a shot. Who knows? But I think it'll be good hoops for sure. What do you think?
I mean, Angel stat pad Reese, you know, getting her own rebounds, bumping up those rebounds, pumping up those points. But yeah, I think those two combinations right there is kind of what's going to get the WNBA the recognition that it needs. For my final thought, this is a good week. You know, we got the NHL playoffs starting, NBA playoffs starting, NFL draft next week. Like, we're kind of in the hot time of sports right now, and it'll just be very interesting to kind of see NBA playoffs. Obviously, there's a bunch of good matchups. It'll be interesting to see.
Baseball season around.
Baseball season.
Yeah, no, this is true. Hey, I mean, like, speaking about WNBA a little more, though, when is Caitlin Clark going to get some help? Oh, my God. Like, they really got my glorious queen, Caitlin Clark, and this is no help, bro. Like, they got her in Indiana. Indiana's already really boring. Like, they got her like playing in corn,
in Indiana, I'll tell you that.
Playing in corn and like doing all this lame stuff, and then she got to play with Aaliyah Boston. Like, brother, like, what do we have to do to get Caitlin Clark some help? You know, I'll be a booster for the Indiana Fever. I'll give you guys a couple of dollars. Hopefully, you can sign Asia Wilson. Can we make that happen?
I think we could.
Go GM them.
I got you.
That will do it for us here tonight. Thank you for watching this week's episode, and this has been Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from a regular daily schedule on UWW TV.